Hello, hello, my greenskins. We're on season three of X-Men Evolution, and I'm here with my co-host Dark Shroudingon,
Sup?
and we're talking season three of X-Men Evolution. So, how are you enjoying X-Men Evolution so far? Now we're three seasons in.
Um, so far so good. I think it's definitely a solid show. It's an it's
Mhm.
continuing past story arcs, or sorry, not story arc, character arcs from previous seasons, and it's concluded some, but also began new
Mhm.
ones, and it's keeping things balanced. So the writing is definitely solid. I'm always interested in what's going on. For me, there's never really a dull moment. Even the fluff episodes, which there were fewer of this season compared to the last, were still enjoyable.
Yeah, overall, this is just a really good series as a whole. I would actually even argue it's a little bit better than the original series a little bit on some in some ways, not completely, but yeah, it does have its moments.
It certainly has strengths that
Mhm.
rival or surpass the original series. That
Yeah.
might be blasphemous in the ears of some hardcore X Men fans. But guess what? I am
Well,
not a hardcore fan. I am a casual observer, so to speak, in the whole Marvel fan base.
at this point, I've watched. I am somewhat of a hardcore X Men fan, and to be perfectly honest, from that angle, I have to say it. The story in this is I find a little bit better sometimes because the original series had a bad habit of kind of not properly concluding stuff, throwing stuff in the air, never finishing stuff, or speeding through something and you never get to see the full arc.
I
It had a
think
really bad habit of that.
I think the problem with the first series is that there were some episodes that felt out of order. Even when you do
Yep.
watch it in the quote unquote official order, it feels like okay, there's this major thing happening. Next episode, it's suddenly uh, the reset button was
Pressed quite often in the original series.
yeah.
And that's the only thing that we can come from X Men Evolution so far. We're hitting season three here. And yeah, it's just pretty much story is where this show gets its best thing. We're not going to bother rating the music and the animation because, other than me noticing some dips, I really don't see any reason to really go in that. It's just basically pure story, and this really does so far have a good story.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I would I might have said this in past streams, but once again, even though Wolverine is my favorite character, and despite the fact that he doesn't get as much screen time as in the original series, I don't feel like I've been cheated as even as a Wolverine fan. Do you know what I mean? It's
No,
like the
yeah,
other
exactly.
characters are likable enough for me to be invested in them. The original
Like this,
series, this might be nostalgia talking. Wolverine was largely the reason I was watching it, and I'm not taking anything away from the original series. It's good overall, even rewatching it as an adult. But
mhm,
Wolverine definitely took the spotlight in that series.
yeah, and this season definitely gets dark. Like wow, and I'm actually kind of happy that we've gotten three seasons because other series have had that little hit and miss. This overall has a really good story and it does get dark, but it's not dark enough that kids can't watch it.
Oh yeah, it's an early
And
2000s show. It's not gonna go into uh,
it's not going to go
violent
Pacific Rim
television.
Black.
No, no.
I might do a review of that one. Jesus fuck. Overall, this has been. I enjoy watching this, and I watch it whenever I get a chance to. And the original series, and one other series, it's just an Wolverine and the X Men. are, I still think, the three very best of the X-Men that we've gotten so far. I can't think of anything else they've done X-Men wise that's made me go, oh yeah, you know. Like X-Men animes, okay, but this one definitely we're on season 3 and this is perfect. Almost I would say this is a 7 now because of just this season alone and everything that's come before it. The story follows a great arc.
Uh, I'm
And it go ahead.
I'm still keeping it in the 8 zone. I
Well, no, I'm building it up to a full 7 because of that fact. It's a great story and it gets better as it goes.
I mean, I guess if there's thing I one of the major low points of the show, if you can call this particular one that, is that I know I'm on the last season now, and once it
Mm.
ends, I'm gonna be sad to see it go, and I feel like I feel like I don't know, episode count wise, I feel like this could have gone longer and should have probably.
I I don't know. I have a yes and no to that factor. We'll see when the last season comes up how you actually feel once we do the review for it, and then we'll probably do a little wrap. But the reason I did this, wink wink, is because of that, wink wink. This series does legit. This story is so good. If we were to do it as a whole, we'd just be harping on how good the series is. And it's better to have a look at it from that perspective of no, let's look at it from a season to season. Let's look at it like kids, like back in the day, how a kid would watch this series. Mind you, we're not doing it like a real kid watching it once a week. I can only imagine how excited I'd be if I watched an episode a week. Oh, hey, every Saturday in the morning I would be able to watch it. Like, this is a good series, and it's really good. It's really fun to watch, and yeah, overall, I'm giving it a solid 7 right now. This really shot up for me because this season and as a whole, it's a great series.
Yeah, it really is a great show. But going back to watching it on a weekly basis, I mean, I could imagine if I had stayed in Australia when I was a kid, I wouldn't be watching it weekly. I'd be watching it daily, probably every morning before school, because at least in the morning TV blocks, that's how it worked. A show ends, it's so seasonal run in America. They binge it. They well, not binge it, but they play them daily on
Yeah.
weekdays, on Australian public TV.
Well, that's kind of cool. I kind of liked watching it bits and I don't know. I did like watching it once a week. Like I gotta admit, as a kid, this would be like it pisses me off that at this point I was almost what was I, almost 20 at the time, I think. So it's like at that point when I finally saw this, I was like, oh, they're making another X-Men series. Oh, I'm gonna hate it. And I remember sitting down and watching the first season, being, but then after as we've built up, this is definitely like this is as a whole a great show. And then like right around season 3 is when I realized it. I was really upset because I remember there was a huge hiatus for a couple for quite a while. I remember just all of a sudden, no more episodes. And like I waited like all through summer and before I saw a new episode. I actually had to find it on a new channel before I realized that there were other episodes.
Um, Going back to what you were saying that this is not so great earlier, was it because of the fluff episodes? There was a lot of slice of life stuff going on. Like did that contribute
Yes
to it?
and yes. Yes and no. We'll get into overarching in our spoiler filled episode because we can get into that after we're done the season arc,
It's just
after we're
that
done the full series.
it's just that when I was watching it, I even enjoyed those episodes. It's
No, 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 no. I'll definitely. I am saying that this, as a whole, I wanted to do it this way so that if someone ever wanted to hear exactly how the series goes from start to finish, because this one, although there are a lot of YouTubers building this up now finally, and people are finally finding this, and now that Disney Plus exists, release the unedited version, Disney.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think this deserves DVD cuts. I think this deserves full DVD series from start to finish, all the way up to season 4. Release the
Hey,
unedited cut, Disney.
if we're up to me, it should get an HD remaster. It is worthy.
Same here. I would actually agree. Even and at the end of the series, you'd get a cut of the one guy, the actor that passed away, because I think this is one of his unknown roles. And overall, I think this is a great show, and I think it built into something really brilliant. And I think the last season is going to be, that's really going to be a love thing to it. So a love letter to the series as a whole. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the season 3. What do you think of season 3? You pretty much that's it. You want to add anything?
Uh, no, pretty much said everything I had to. It's fun, solid writing.
Okay.
Even fluff episodes were good and even contributed something. You know,
Okay.
this is less gloomy. It's more fun than the original series.
You know what? I'm watching the original series too. I will get back. I will give a full comparison in our spoiler episode because I'm watching both. I'm also watching like 15 other things because I'm a crazy, crazy night owl. So,
Hmm.
all right, my green skins. Uh, I'm War Chief, and that's my co-host Dark Shining Gun, and we will catch you on the flip side. You guys have a very good day.
See ya.
See it.